And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
And yes, here we are again another day, committed to being your consumer advocate. Welcome to the Consumer Quarterback Show. It's all about helping you understand your buying decisions, making you just a bit more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We don't care if you're climbing a corporate ladder or if you throw a ladder in your truck on the way to work. This show's for you. We're going to educate, entertain, enlighten. Most importantly, we want to engage with you. Now, how can you do that? Reach out to our hotline, 813-670-7372. That's our consumer advocate hotline. It's an off-air number. You can call or text that line, and many of you have been calling us at 813-670-7372. And we really appreciate our radio family out there, folks listening to the show, supporting our show partners, over 50 show partners with categories ranging from CPA, financial advisor, real estate. We're going to talk about some of the home services here that we offer on the Consumer Quarterback Show as well. And we have a great lineup for you today. We're going to have Dr. Jared Roscoe in studio. He's going to be talking about chiropractic fitness. He also has a laser fit body sculpting and interesting talk about oxygen therapy, cryotherapy, some of the different cleanses that you can do to improve your health and rejuvenate your body's immune system. Right now, so many people are worried about their immune system, wondering how they can stay strong and kick coronavirus to the curb here. We're going to help you do that as well. Also, Fred Muth, Tampa Screens and Aluminum, longtime friend of the program, talk about that in-between space, adding on beautiful space to your home, adding value, increasing value, but also increasing the ability to enjoy that in-between space that you have on your home. And we're going to close out this show with Blake Knotts from Febre Frameworks. He's our longtime real estate photography partner, Sean Febre, Manny Febre, the whole team. They do such a great job. Talk about virtual staging, Matterport, drone shots, also their pressure washing business that they spun off as well. So we've got a great lineup for you today on the show, and we want to talk about a couple of hot listings that we've got here in Tampa Bay. We got land available at POINTE ALEXIS. This is North Point Alexis. Another beautiful lot. I've got a $2.5 million listing coming up in about 2 weeks at this property as well at Tarpon Springs. POINTE ALEXIS is a gorgeous property. Also, Catch Court is in that same area there. But look at this beautiful lot. You've got partial water views overlooking the intercoastal waterways right there at Tarpon Springs, where the Enclosure River comes out kind of close to the mouth of the river right there, North Point Alexis. Now, where else can you talk? I talked to a buyer this morning about this. Where else can you buy a $39,000 lot and have a $2.5 million property, $1 million property, multiple, high $800,000, $900,000 properties as neighbors for a $39,000 investment? Well, we've got 3 lots in there. I think 2 have already sold. Great opportunity to buy real estate right here in Tampa Bay. Also got an entry-level affordable property as well at 3907 Carroll Pines, in Tampa. This is a beautiful 2-story condo right in Tampa Bay. Great opportunity to own a 2-bedroom, 2-bath home in Tampa Bay, less than $200,000, close to Raymond James Stadium. So you'll be able to walk to the Buccaneer football games if you wanted to from this beautiful property at 3907 Carroll Pines Court in Tampa. Check out all of our real estate properties at platinummvpteam.kw.com. Hot real estate listings at platinummvpteam.com. And this segment is brought to you by Replenish IV Solutions, the science of nutritional balance. Say hello to our friends Stephen and Lisa Gunnan over at Replenish IV Solutions. Now, what we're talking about is these vitamin infusion drips. It's directly into your bloodstream. You're getting vitamins, minerals, electrolytes. The Myers cocktail is the most famous and popular complements of Replenish IV Solutions. They have nurses that will deliver it to your home or office. And of course, they're adhering to the CDC guidelines. Vitamin infusion drips, thanks to Replenish IV Solutions, the science of nutritional balance. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Also, published author, professional speaker. Check out our book on Amazon, Become the MVP in Your Industry by Surfing the Radio Waves, a book I wrote a couple years ago. Talk about the model, talk about ways that we help our sellers maximize the exposure on the sale of their real estate properties. That's really our specialty. We've been featured in Florida Realtor Magazine 7 times over the years about marketing, about branding, how to grow the business, the influence that we have in the local marketplace by being a daily show right here on 860 The Answer. And we appreciate you guys supporting our home service partners as well. We've got a lot of home services available here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Pro Health Pest Control, Dan Manikheim and his wife, they do a great job with Pro Health Pest Control. We got 2 maids and a mop right here locally in Tampa Bay. Support the local economy by supporting 2 maids and a mop. Tabitha and her team, they do a great job cleaning our real estate properties and also our personal residence. Mold Zero, one of our newer show partners, Brandon Faust, has a plethora of information when it comes to mold and Mold Zero and how to get that, how to eradicate that from your home. Water Science, Fred DeFelice, what a great guy, man. He is a worker. He's 80 years old, and he's out there hustling every day. Water Science, clean up the water on your home. He does a great job with that. 3D Solar, what a great company. 3D Solar, Tampa Bay Business Journal's Fast 50. They were ranked number 8th last year. Tampa Screens and Aluminum, as we mentioned. Suncoast Roofing, the official roofing partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Suncoast Roofing and his team over there with Chuck Peterson. You've heard of Mary Cernicki on the Consumer Quarterback Show as well. But as we said, hey, a great lineup for you today right here on the show. We're going to talk with Dr. Jared Roscoe coming up, chiropractic wellness on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Talk about his laser fit. He's right here in Clearwater as well. And we're going to dive into deep on how to grow your, how to improve your health. That's one of the things we all want to do. We want to be more healthy. When you're healthy, you're happy. When your body's operating efficiently, you're able to do more, be more, and be that better version of you. Dr. Jared Roscoe coming up, as well as Fred Muth, Tampa Screens and Aluminum, and Blake Knotts, Febre Frameworks. So we appreciate you listening and tuning in. And also, we would love to connect with you on social media. Follow us online at Brandon Rhymes1 on Instagram and Twitter. And on Facebook, you can find us, the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. Bumped a button there. The Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty on Facebook, and the Consumer Quarterback Show as well. We'd love to connect with you. Follow us. We'll follow you back. We'll connect. We'll link up on LinkedIn as well. Brandon Rhymes PA on LinkedIn. When we come back, we have Dr. Jared Roscoe in studio. We're going to talk about chiropractic, physician, oxygen therapy. Some really cool things that I didn't know about oxygen therapy right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is Chris Voss, former FBI lead hostage negotiator and owner of the Black Swan Group, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, this week we're going to talk about something exciting as usual.
We always have something exciting.
Yes, we do.
At least it's exciting to us.
But this is a question that comes up.
TV, hey, it is Friday night. We're not here. Yes, we pre-recorded once again because WeBeam TV is working over in Tampa with D'Angelo Star.
The 62 Who Knew. I almost said Professional Mortgage Alliance, Joe's Bar and Grill. But actually, it's our 39th week. 62 Who Knew.
We're at the wonderful steampunk event at the Verizon Event Center here in 2019. I think it's still August, right? Yeah. Woo! Can't remember it. Ask me about Florida.
Yes.
To be able to help businesses to do that part of it. But it's just been a couple of years.
Well, and I've taken the business card files from our business cards and made
entrepreneurs and professionals of Tampa Bay. Welcome to your hour for getting the information, the tools, and the connections for
Battles on Radio Influence.
Or you say left hand white, and then they catch the left hand white. What it does, it helps you quick with hand-eye coordination. Yeah.
Well, that's kind
as your super connector. We want to introduce you to our 50+ show partners. We got over 80 categories of expert contributor advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we want to
That's where we disagree, but that's okay.
I said nonviolent.
That's okay.
Because, we're one of the only states that don't give them back. I've got Jamie Limbaugh. He is from the Next Step Image. I love that name because you were telling me earlier.
For the type of republic we actually are is actually very correct. Yet politicians and regular people use these words interchangeably, even though technically they are very different.
If you're an overdoer, overachiever, people pleaser, we tend to neglect ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And even as Sisters Connected here, with Women Unscripted, I know
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right. Welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here. Consumer Quarterback Show powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, helping you win in your real estate deals, buying, selling, or investing. We would love to talk to you. My wife, Lindsay, and I recently featured in Florida Realtor Magazine again for the May issue of 2020. It was an awesome article, well-written article talking about our involvement with the community, our marketing efforts, and the radio and TV show differentiation factor that we have with our real estate team at Keller Williams Realty, the #1 real estate company in the world, Keller Williams Realty. We are hiring as well, so we'd love to talk to you. Any realtors that want to grow and supercharge their marketing, give us a call. We'd love to talk to you about that. A couple of hot listings, 5501 80th Street North. This is a well-priced condo unit and a great entry-level property, 5501 80th Street North. Great opportunity right here in St. Petersburg, and a clean one-bedroom, one-bath condo, over 1,000 square feet. Also, 6417 Yvette Drive. This one's in Hudson. This is bay access, waterfront beauty right out in Hudson, Pasco County, direct access out into the bay, the Gulf of Mexico. 2 bedrooms, 2 bath, 1 car garage. And the price, owner has reduced the price, so he's very motivated. 6417 Yvette Drive. Check out all of our real estate listings at PlatinumMVPTeam.kw.com. Hot listings at PlatinumMVPTeam.kw.com. And Brothers Easy Moving, the official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Brothers Easy Moving, whether you're planning a local or long distance move, reach out to our friends Gary Thacker and his team at Brothers Easy Moving. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. All right, we got a special guest in studio, Dr. Jared Roscoe. Welcome to the Consumer Quarterback Show.
All right. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here, Brandon.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So, chiropractic physician, and also you own a laser fit body sculpting weight loss center as well.
Correct. Yeah, we just opened our weight loss portion of our practice here this year in 2020.
Nice.
And it's gone great so far. So,
It seems like a big demand place. People want to know how to lose weight, how to get their body performing optimally.
I'll tell you what, it's 9 out of 10 people in my practice have some kind of a weight issue. And whether they're coming in for nutrition therapy or back pain or something like that, there's always that correlation with, the weight. Of course, that'll cause low back pain. It'll cause extra pressure on the knees and the joints.
Yes.
So I was looking for something, to really help my clients. And of course, there's diet. Of course, there's exercise. But a lot of my clients were doing something called cool sculpting. And so I looked into it a bit. And, wasn't the best, very expensive. And I actually came across this. It's called Invisared. That's the actual name of the technology. And fraction of the price. And you really need to be careful because there are a lot of charlatans out there. And they will sell you a bill of goods. What I found with this technology, though, very, very effective, very safe. We've been changing lives with it. We love it.
So you've traveled the world. You said we were talking about the cocoon oxygen therapy that you mentioned. I've done a lot of traveling with Tony Robbins. I went to Business Mastery, Namali, Fiji, and went to the Mediterranean back in the day, back when we could travel. But talk to us about what you've learned from that. Like you said, was it Budapest you mentioned?
That's right. Yeah. So back in last year, I went to Budapest, Hungary.
Yep.
Actually, interesting story. A lot of my patients, we do a lot of nutrition therapy in my practice. A lot of diabetes, Alzheimer's. I have some cancer patients. And of course, I'm not treating these patients. I'm giving, nutrition therapy. You're healing the body. You're giving the body what it needs, and the body treats itself. That's kind of our paradigm. But I was fortunate enough to meet this gentleman named Dr. Lyons that invented a form of oxygen therapy. And we hit it off within 10, 15 minutes. And he said, look, I want to train you. I've only trained one other doctor from North America, and I want to train you. And I said, great, how do we do it? He said, come to Budapest. And I said, okay, when? And he said, tomorrow.
Nice.
Right. And so, I was expecting a couple of months from now. But he said, look, he travels the world, same thing, very popular doctor. And so, look, man, I had, my practice, I had my laser practice going, but basically I jumped on a plane. I just said, to heck with it, I'm going to do it. And honestly, it's been one of the best things I've ever done, because I'll tell you what, again, we're not treating cancer, but just in terms of helping the human body to heal and enhance the immune system, I'll be honest with you, oxygen is number one. In terms of oxygen delivery, this cocoon therapy is probably number one. It's incredible.
That makes a lot of sense too, because you hear about the priming. Have you heard Tony Robbins talk about priming?
I have.
If you're watching our TV show version on Apple, Amazon, Roku, you can see I'm putting my hands above my head, and it's something about bringing the air in. He does it really fast at his events. You do it like, I think 50 reps or something like that, and it's just, you're flooding your body with oxygen.
That's it.
So the effect of oxygen, and here's the other flip side of that. Most people mope around, they're hunched over, they're barely breathing, they're not getting enough oxygen. Multiply that by 84,600 seconds in a day. Is it 86,400 seconds in a day? One or the other. It just sounds better than 24 hours, right? So think about when people do that, and they're not full. It's free, oxygen's free, but they're not bringing it in. So the priming is Navy SEAL or SEALs do it, and all types of high level people.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. I'll tell you something interesting though. When you do, I actually just went to the Royal Society of Medicine in London. I was invited to speak there on diabetes and oxygen therapy, and what I'll tell you is, interestingly enough, and if you look for the 2019 Nobel Prize for Medicine, you can Google this, check it out for yourself. The award was given to 3 physicians for their discoveries on the role of oxygen in disease.
Wow.
Primarily diabetes, cancer, Alzheimer's. Okay.
Wow.
You look at what happens inside the human cell, and to make it simple and understandable here, when there's chronic inflammation in the body, right? And how many things cause chronic inflammation? Well, tons, right? Anything from metal toxicity. We talked about mold last time, mold toxins. How about gluten? How about, dietary things? Lots and lots of things can cause inflammation in the body. When that happens, the cell stops being able to take in oxygen. That's why priming helps, because you're trying to flood the body with oxygen.
Yes.
What I'll tell you about this therapy, though, hyperbaric is good too. Hyperbaric's good in my experience now. Cocoon, which is actually a liquid, you drink it, or even better yet, if you're lucky enough to be in Las Vegas or Los Angeles, right? That's the only 2 places in the States where you can do this. You submerge yourself in it. It's a soaking tub.
Wow.
Right? And it actually gets right into your cell, independent of that whole inflammatory process. Wow. So you're able to kind of force feed, if you will, the cell oxygen, and the results. I mean, I've had diabetics, they've done the medical thing for years, they've done the natural thing for several months, and it's okay, it's good. You put them on this oxygen therapy, within 2 weeks, they're not a diabetic anymore.
Wow.
And that's an incredible claim to make. And I'm saying, I've seen that with my own 2 eyes. That's exactly what I presented on my findings at the Royal Society of Medicine, because it really cracks the case. I mean, that's what's needed inside the human cell to undo this blood sugar problem. It's like nothing you've ever seen. It's amazing.
Yeah, because I think it really, when you think about it, by the way, if you just join us, we're talking with Dr. Jared Roscoe here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. And I've got a background back in the day when I first graduated school in personal training. I was at the Ritz-Carlton in Naples. Pretty cool,
nice.
Fun place to work. It was a 52,000 square foot spa. And, so my background was somewhat nutrition, personal training years ago. But so I have a good baseline for this. But when you look at the number one threats that people have, maybe we could start there. What are sugar comes to mind?
Oh, for sure,
big time.
This is interesting. I just did a radio interview about a week ago up in the New England area, and he asked me that same question: what's the number one threat? And it kind of had a moment of clarity, so to speak, and it came to me, and I went, what it really is? I think number one we have to say is disinformation, because you have people that are so confused, and they're hearing this from their surgeon, this from their family doc, this from Dr. Oz, right? and they don't really have that stable piece of information that's true. You know,
Right.
they have little bits here and there. You have commercials on TV telling you one thing, right? And so I'd say that's the biggest thing is the patient comes in and they're spinning. They have no idea how do you take care of your body. You know?
Right.
I'd say that's the number one problem is the disinformation campaign put on by, you know, advertising, you know, great advertising companies to sell you products that you don't need.
Sure.
That's number one.
Yeah.
But away from that, you know, just talking about the nuts and bolts of the human body, I think number one, you know, you got to eat clean. So what does that mean?
Yes.
You know, I call it the big three, and that's protein, fat, and vegetable, right? What are we made to eat? What do we have out in nature?
Yes.
That's pretty much it. If you look at it, we have greens, maybe some nuts, some seeds, some berries. And if we're lucky enough to catch an animal, we have some animal protein.
Yes.
You know, that's pretty much it. That's called the paleo diet.
Mm-hmm.
And something I've seen work on a lot of people. So I'm a big fan of diet. You know, we always have to address that. Again, whether it's a chiropractic patient coming in or whether it's a weight loss patient coming in, we always have to take a good long look. But especially with these, you know, an autism spectrum kid comes in or an ADD kid comes in.
Right.
What are they eating? Sugar.
Right, exactly.
Sugar.
That's the challenge because parents, a lot of times too, let's just kind of look at the root, right? A lot of parents we heard the divorce rate of parents years ago, over 50%.
It's terrible.
So what do? They're, let's take you to Starbucks. Let's get you a little fatty smoothie over here or a chocolate shake from, you know where. But so yeah, the diet is a big part of it. While we're on diet, let me ask you, what do you think about the Master Cleanse?
I'm unfamiliar with it.
Master Cleanse is one of these cleanses where you can, because it goes on the premise of your skin is your number one largest organ in the body. Then your second largest is your intestine. So what the Master Cleanse does, it talks about drinking a mix of water that has just organic squeezed lemons. You're putting cayenne pepper.
Oh yeah.
And you're also utilizing micronutrients from maple syrup.
Yeah.
And then some of the people take laxatives with that to do a cleanse 10, 15, 20 days or more. You can do it. I've seen people personally, friends of mine, do it for long periods of time, and it makes sense to me because over the years, we're building stuff up in there.
So true. Number one, I detox all my patients. That's always step one. You know, whether you're coming in for cancer, whether you're coming in for diabetes, autoimmune disease, step one with me is always let's detox you. So I do my own detox. I formulate supplements, so I have my own company I work with, but I am familiar with that cleanse. I didn't know it as the Master Cleanse, but absolutely, very valid. A lot of my patients have done that. Right. It absolutely works. The only thing I tell people when they do it, I use a product called Perfect Amino, and it's a blend of the 8 essential amino acids. Real quick, what do amino acids do? They make protein. That's
building blocks of muscle.
It's the building blocks of muscle. But you know what? It's more than muscle. It's bone. It's skin. It's enzymes. It's the chemicals in our brain. You know what I mean? So everything in the body is basically made up of these amino acids, rather. So I do tell them I don't want you to get protein deficient. So I will give them Perfect Amino, but I support that. I think it's actually quite a good cleanse.
Yeah, I read the book and it had some amazing stories. People turning around, getting off of medicines, curing themselves of cancer because your body, you're not absorbing your nutrients. You're eating good food maybe, but they're not absorbing through that digestive tract is 100%. The challenge.
100%.
We're talking with Dr. Jared Roscoe here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and he's got a couple different businesses here in Tampa Bay. You're based out of Clearwater?
I am. Yeah, we're right in the heart of downtown Clearwater. So I've got my primary business, which is, of course, Roscoe Chiropratic and Wellness. And, that's where I do my consults. And we have some massage therapists on staff that are excellent. I handpicked them. Nice. And we're actually expanding. I'm hiring this week a nurse practitioner. We're getting into intravenous drips, these kinds of things, IV vitamin C, regenerative medicine, which is, also called stem cell therapy.
Yes, stem cells. That's a big area, growing area. I've heard, I had a business partnership with Ken Shamrock, UFC Hall of Famer.
Oh, I'm a big fan.
He flew down to, I think it was Colombia and got some work done. And he said initially it was painful, but then after it wore off, the pain wore off, he felt great.
That's exactly right. Yeah. What it'll even do, we recommend after you get, and again, there are a lot of charlatans out there, just like anything in life, so I'm not just saying go get injected with stem cell.
Right.
What I'm saying is you need to go to somebody who knows what they're doing. Of course, all products are not created equally. I toured the factory myself, the product I recommend. And anyway, after this is several years I've been investigating this. I never just launched into anything. So If you go into the right guy who knows what he's doing, absolutely. You can get great results. It is a little uncomfortable at first. One way the body heals is actually with that inflammatory process. You don't want chronic, out of control inflammation, but localized to a joint, absolutely. That's going to bring in the white blood cells. It's going to clean up any joint debris.
Right.
And it's going to trigger the healing of the body. So he's right. It is painful for maybe the first day or two, but after that, it's downhill from there, and the body heals. It's unbelievable, actually.
One of the other things you see a lot of athletes doing, and again, one of my favorites is Tony Robbins. He has a cryotherapy chamber in his home.
Sure.
Talk to me about cryo.
Cryo's good. I'm not a huge fan of cryo, primarily because I don't like cold.
Me neither. I don't like getting in there. I can't handle it.
Right.
I feel like I was after like 2 minutes. I'm like, okay, let me out.
That's it. They get down to like, what is it, -70 or something, like -270?
It's crazy, yeah, because it's a gas and it's not on your body like liquid would be, but yeah, it's cold.
That's right. And I'll say this: I've seen good results with that.
Yeah,
good results. Let me tell you something. Where I see great results, like next level Star Trek results, where you're regrowing tissue and whatever. Okay, the right kind of regenerative medicine, which I recommend umbilical and placental.
Right.
Doesn't harm the baby in any way.
Yep.
Nothing unethical or weird in that part. It's basically they just discard. 98% of the placentas are discarded.
Yeah.
And so instead of doing that, they're actually able to culture some of the growth factors, and we can use those to regrow tissue in an adult body. So that's one thing, is using the right kind of regenerative medicine.
Yeah.
Instead of cryo, I recommend cocoon, which is the oxygen. You can drink it, or you can soak in it. And more than that, there's something called the Thor. You ever heard of the Thor? Novo Thor is the name of it. It's laser therapy.
Oh, okay.
And that kind of does what cryo is trying to do. Cryo does a couple different things with blood flow and kind of opening up the lymphatic circulation in the body.
Yep.
But it also tries to stimulate the mitochondria. As an exercise physiology guy, I'm sure you know about the mitochondria, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That's the energy making. That's like the engine of the cell.
ATP, right?
ATP. It makes ATP, which is the energy currency for the body. That's what we use for energy. Right. Cryo's trying to increase that, right? Cold therapy is trying to increase that. I think laser is better all day long.
Wow. So we got about half a minute left in this segment. Parting shots, parting words. How can people find you?
Oh, sure. Come find us on Facebook. So it's facebook.com/Roscoe Chiro. If you're interested in weight loss, whatever it is, you're trying to get healthier. You've done the natural thing. You've done the traditional medicine thing. We have a bit of a different slant on this stuff, and it'd be my pleasure to help you. Look us up. We're down there in Clearwater, Laser Fit Clearwater as well. I think it's laserfitweightloss.com is our website there.
Cool.
And yeah.
All right, awesome. Hey, good stuff. Hope to have you back on soon. And that's Dr. Jared Roscoe here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And when we come back, we're going to join with Fred Muth, Tampa Screens and Aluminum, longtime friend of the program. Coming up, Blake Knotts as well. Febre Frameworks here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Don't touch that dial.
All right, this week we're going to talk about something exciting as usual.
We always have something exciting.
Yes, we do.
At least it's exciting to us.
But this is a question that comes up.
TV, hey, it is Friday night. We're not here. Yes, we pre-recorded once again because WeBeam TV is working over in Tampa with D'Angelo Star.
The 62 who knew. I almost said Professional Mortgage Alliance Joe's Bar and Grill, but actually it's our 39th week. 62 who knew.
We're at the wonderful steampunk event at the Verizon Event Center here in 2019. I think it's still August, right? Yeah. Woo! Can't remember now.
Ask Tony about Florence Law.
Yes. To be able to help businesses to do that part of it. But it's just been a couple of years.
Well, and I've taken the business card files from our business cards and made
Entrepreneurs and professionals of Tampa Bay, welcome to your hour for getting the information, the tools, and the connections
Ian
for
Beckles on Radio Influence.
Or you say left hand white, and then they catch the left hand white. What it does, it helps you quick with hand-eye coordination. Yeah.
Well, that's kind
as your super connector. We want to introduce you to our 50-plus show partners. We got over 80 categories of expert contributor advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we want to
That's where we disagree, but that's okay.
I said nonviolent.
That's okay.
Because, we're one of the only states that don't give them back their right. Got Jamie Limbaugh. He is from the Next Step Image. I love that image because you were telling me earlier.
For the type of republic we actually are is actually very correct. Yet politicians and regular people use these words interchangeably, even though technically they are very different.
You're an overdoer, overachiever, people pleaser, we tend to neglect ourselves. And even as Sisters Connected here, with Women Unscripted, I know.
You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, helping you win in any marketplace. That has always been our goal. 7 years running now on air. Tampa Bay and the Gulf Coast region's #1 consumer advocate-based radio and TV show right here in Tampa Bay. Giving a shout-out to the Bilmar Beach Resort. The official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show is the Bilmar Beach Resort on Treasure Island. And as hotels go on the beach, none can say 90% of their rooms overlook the beach. These are newly renovated, a variety of different rooms as well. Solo travelers, couples, and families. 55-inch high-def flat-screen TV, comfy beds, full suite of kitchen options as well. Bilmar Beach Resort. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Take them up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, we got 8325 West Hillsborough Avenue here in Tampa. This is a commercial opportunity. It's a residential for sale opportunity at 8325 West Hillsborough Avenue in Tampa. Commercial opportunity. The property has signage out by Hillsborough Avenue. So there's signage with about 50,000 cars going by per day. Completely fenced in office, large conference room, small kitchen. Great opportunity. 8325 West Hillsborough Avenue in Tampa. Also, 4214 Peaceful Lane in Land O'Lakes. This is perfect for builders, developers, entrepreneurs. What we've got here are 8 lots that are on the lake, 5 of which are directly on the water frontage. 4214 Peaceful Lane in Land O'Lakes. Check out all of our beautiful real estate listings at PlatinumMVPTeam.kw.com. PlatinumMVPTeam.com. All right, we got my man Fred Muth, Tampa Screens and Aluminum, back on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Welcome back, Fred.
Well, thank you so much. I'm close to coming back into the studio. I'm still a little nervous about it. My wife's an asthmatic, so I have to be real careful. That's why I don't come in at this point. But I'm sitting here with my simulated earphones, microphone. I'm just pretending I'm in the studio. I love the studio atmosphere. Do you believe me?
Hey, I believe it. I
hope you don't believe that.
Well, you're going to be safe. I think if you see the pictures of what we're looking at, we got a piece of plexiglass in front of us separating Rob, separating seat 1, and even what would have been like seats 2 and 3. So we've got plenty of protection in here. And whenever you're ready, though, buddy, Tampa Screens and Aluminum, helping people beautify their homes, adding that additional in-between space, the lanais, the screened-in rooms around the pool. Beautiful opportunities right here in Tampa Bay.
No doubt about it. My wife cut my hair, and she did not beautify my hair, so that's another reason why I'm not coming into the studio, to be honest with you.
Okay. Did she do a good job?
Anyway, I'm just joking around.
Oh, that's funny.
We're writing a lot of business. It's just, I was, during the break there, I was explaining that it's sort of overwhelming what's coming at us. I'm sitting here, I'm trying to bid jobs that came in 2.5 weeks ago. That's where we're at right now. And as I'm doing that, the phone's ringing, the emails are coming across. Tampa Screens probably gives me 10 to 15 leads a day. Plus, I get other leads from my other sources. it's a great time to be in the screen business. It really is. I think what's happening, people are sitting at home looking out the back saying, let's call Fred, let's move on the project. I believe that's what's happening because they're not out doing what they were doing in the past. Although we're coming back. We're bouncing back pretty good, which is a good thing for the economy. How's it going on the real estate end, Brandon?
Yeah, real estate's doing well, Fred. You know, we've got an uptick. The real estate's been deemed essential throughout the whole corona outbreak pandemic, but we've seen an uptick lately. Lots of contracts coming in, offers coming in on our properties. It feels like a lot of the folks from up north, I think you're from Philly, if I recall properly, a lot of people from New York, the Northeast, Midwest, moving to Florida. They want to get out of that cold. They want to get out of those urban areas where the pandemic seems to spread faster down here into Tampa Bay, where you've got low real estate taxes. You've got an absence of a state income tax, beautiful waterways, and lots to offer down here.
So much. You could talk about that all day long, and I would say let's echo on that because, you know, I'm from that area, and you're taxed to death up there. It's just amazing. I don't like to tell people up there what I don't pay for taxes down here. They wouldn't believe me.
Yeah, exactly. And
it's amazing, you know.
So the ability, when you look at real estate as well, a lot of folks are asking, how can I improve the value of my home? We've talked about Ray Hall Appraisals on the show, giving some examples, but looking at the use of the home, the ability to understand it and enjoy what you already have. Talk about how you can add value to real estate properties in some of these homes.
Well, you know, let's take the standard cookie cutter under $250,000. Okay, they're probably around 2,200 square feet, 3.2, for example. Standard garage, 2-car garage. People buy the house, they like it. You know, it's Mr. and Mrs. Maybe the children are no longer, you know, they're out in college or whatever. Next thing you know, they look at the backyard. It's large, and they want to enhance the home, and that's when they start calling screen contractors because you can build, like for example, our house here. We put 900 square feet on the back of a nice patio, and it's plenty. It's plenty big. 900 is a pretty good size enclosure. It's a solid roof with a portion of it has a screen roof on it. So we've got the best of both worlds. When we entertain, we can put 15, 20 people out there easily and have a very good time. So that's sort of the norm in our industry, even though, you know, obviously we're putting large cages on $500,000 homes as well, you know, over pools. But, you know, when you take this cookie cutter $250,000 home, you want to enhance it and add on. And you don't really want to start knocking down block walls and extending the solid shingle roof because then basically you miserable a whole with the patio screen rooms, and people love them because it's the in-between space, as you always say. You know, this is you want to get away from the air conditioning, but you don't want to go outside in the sun and the bugs. Go to the in-between space that, you know, which would be a room that we build from Tampa Screens and Aluminum.
Yeah, right on. TampaScreens.com is the website. Fred Muth is the salesman and estimator that you want to talk to. Fred Muth, Tampa Screens and Aluminum, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Thanks a lot, Fred. We'll talk to you.
Hello to Ray. He gave me a good lead the other day. I'm going to sign her up today.
Nice. All right. Hello, Ray. Thanks so much for that. Okay, when we come back, nurse reunites with New York City firefighter who rescued her from a burning building 37 years ago in our Feel Good Story of the Day. We'll be right back.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, this week we're going to talk about something exciting as usual.
We always have something exciting.
Yes, we do.
At least it's exciting to us.
But this is a question that comes up.
TV, hey, it is Friday night. We're not here. Yes, we pre-recorded once again because WeBeam TV is working over in Tampa with Dancing with the Stars.
62 Who Knew. I almost said Professional Mortgage Alliance, Joe's Bar and Grill. But actually, it's our 39th week. 62 Who Knew.
We're at the wonderful steampunk event at the Verizon Event Center here in 2019. I think it's still August, right? Yeah. Woo! Can't remember.
to be able to help businesses to do that part of it. But it's just been a couple years.
Well, and I've taken the business card files from our business cards and made
Entrepreneurs and professionals of Tampa Bay, welcome to your hour for getting the information, the tools, and the connections
Ian
for
Beckles on Radio Influence.
Or you say left hand white, and then they catch the left hand white. What it does, it helps you quick with hand-eye coordination. Yeah.
Well, that's kind
as your super connector. We want to introduce you to our 50-plus show partners. We got over 80 categories of expert contributor advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we want to.
That's where we disagree, but that's okay.
I said nonviolent.
That's okay.
Because, you know, we're one of the only states that don't give them back the right. Got Jamie Limbaugh. He is from the Next Step image. I love that image because you were telling me earlier.
For the type of republic we actually are is actually very correct. Yet politicians and regular people use these words interchangeably, even though technically they are very different.
If you're an overdoer, overachiever, people pleaser, we tend to neglect ourselves. And even as sisters connected here, you know, with Women Unscripted, I know.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here. I'm your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty and the Golf Cart Depot, Tampa Bay Golf Cart Depot. Say hello to our friends Marty and his team over at the Golf Cart Depot. They've got 2 locations right here in Tampa Bay, Clearwater location, Lando Lakes location. They've got the Star EV, Cushman, Icon electric vehicles, and the Easy Go is the one I prefer. That's the one I have got. The pre-owned and remanufactured golf carts available, and they hooked me up with the beautiful Keller Williams red golf cart. It's a lot of fun, personal use, kick around the neighborhood, have some fun. The family enjoys it, riding around, taking the dogs for a ride, but also commercial use as well. I know a lot of farmers that use it, agriculture companies will use these golf carts, and real estate companies. We utilize them for going out and door knocking in the neighborhoods as well. We live on the lake, so we've got a lot of canal waterfront properties right there in Tampa Bay. Golf Cart Depot. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you, and take them up on those special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, every day we're going to tell you something positive here in our feel-good story of the day, and this is an interesting story. You got a nurse that reunites with a New York City firefighter and who rescued her from a burning building 37 years ago. An ER nurse has been reunited with New York City firefighter Deidre Taylor, who works as a nurse in Virginia, is currently working in New York City to help fight the coronavirus pandemic. On Monday, she was reunited with a retired fire department out of New York firefighter Eugene Puglisi. Quote, "I had always wanted to track down the firefighter who saved me so I could say thank you." Taylor, 40, made sure to pack a possession that she held dear for over 3 decades in a front page newspaper article about the rescue. And quote, "I brought a copy of the Daily News with me, and I thought I'd be able to track him down while I was here, and I did," Taylor said. Taylor gave Puglisi a call right after her shift and was very happy to hear his voice on the other end. Quote, "I wondered about him on 9/11. I hoped that he would get a chance to thank him, or that I would get a chance to thank him, and she finally did." Puglisi was assigned to Ladder 20 on December 29, 1983, when he was alerted to a fire at 64 Wooster Street in Soho. He rescued 4-year-old Deidre Taylor and her mom from the 6th floor apartment. And quote, "I was in the middle of checking out a broken pipe on a street when a gentleman came and alerted me of a fire, Puglisi said. I hadn't even had my gear on. I just a helmet and an axe. When I arrived, there was a lot of smoke, and I went into the apartment and found a woman. She was saying, my baby, my baby. I carried her into another room and proceeded to the room where the fire, that had the fire. I found Deidre, and I was so glad. I crawled in on my belly, and I didn't have any equipment. I was lucky to have found her. I gave her 2 quick breaths, and she started crying. She turned around. She turned out to be a wonderful young woman. When I heard she was here, I was on cloud 9. I cried all day. Taylor and Puglisi have spoken twice since reconnecting and hope to meet in person once it's safe to do so. The two learned they had a lot in common. They both served in the military, and both are die-hard Yankee fans. All right, so that's a cool story out of our feel-good story of the day, telling you something positive here, going against the nonsense out there in the mainstream media and a lot of that sensationalism that you find that's so prevalent out there. We're going to go over to Blake Knotts now, joining us via phone from Febre Frameworks. And Blake, seems like you guys have been busy with your Matterport videos, your drone photography, drone videos out there as well.
Yes, sir. The game has kind of changed over the last several months. Obviously, with the coronavirus pandemic going on, our traditional appointments, they were more based around the photography, interior, exterior photos with the drone aerials. But realtors not being able to hold the open houses, the 3D Matterport, the virtual tour business has just been in such high demand, and that technology becoming more prevalent over the last 3 to 4 years. It's kind of becoming a must-have. The MLS has seen this increase in virtual tours, and now there's even a link in the MLS where you can actually input the Matterport tour. So it's the game's kind of changed a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. What a different game. I remember back in the day, I was featured in Florida Realtor Magazine back in 2012, I think it was, and I had one of those it was like a little red flip camera that you'd flip it out and the screen could kind of turn. And I would walk through my properties and post the videos. I would put them on my YouTube, my WordPress blog, link it to my YouTube account. And Google loved it. Google loved that because Google owns YouTube. Google also owns WordPress. So I was getting a lot of ranking videos like best real estate agent Tampa, best agent South Tampa. And then the properties would link up pretty high on the SEO. That's a big part of it, isn't it? When people don't realize the more pictures you have, the more content you have, the virtual tours attached, your property is going to be seen more by the search engines and web crawlers.
Yeah, and similar to what you said, with this increase of Matterports, we've actually been able to implement a new package that we have. It's our Ideal Matterport package. It features your interior, exterior photos. You get your drone aerials, and then you get your Matterport.
All right, look, sounds like we had a technical break there. Okay, I hear him again. Blake, you there?
Yes, sir. I don't know where we left off, but in this pandemic, to remain the affordability that we've always offered our clients, we've implemented our Ideal Matterport package. It's the interior, exterior photos, the drone aerials, and you also get your 3D Matterport with that. We also have a deluxe Matterport package that it's those same items, but you get your single page property website. It's built in with advanced analytics that increases your SEO, as you were speaking of. You get a drone aerial video, and then you also get a 2D floor plan. So 2 great options. With this new technology, you can get our premium package, our deluxe, or our Ideal Matterport package, and it's those things have been hopping off the shelves.
And pricing is the best part as well. Pricing starts as low as what, $125, I think, right?
Yeah, that's your photo packages. $125. We can get out there and get you a step up in the game.
Yeah, and I've done business with Febre Frameworks almost 5 years now. I think it's been a great run. You've heard of Sean on the show, Manny Febre, We've had Jeanette in the past and Blake now carrying that torch for Febre Frameworks as the official real estate photographer of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Also the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. And the photographs look great. Rob, I want to put up a couple of pictures here. Like let's look at that Harbor Drive, Clearwater. I'm going to talk about this property. This property is in Harbor Drive in Clearwater. Febre Frameworks shot this property. If you're watching our TV show version, you're looking at a drone overhead shot, beautiful photography. And then what I love about it is in the background, you see Clearwater Beach. You see the buildings on the beach, the hotels on the beach, and you see the proximity and you see the bridge. You know, hey, if you're a boater, you got to have a boat that has a collapsible stern or you know the panel where you're driving from. You know, you got to have, so the photography side helps you paint the picture as the real estate agent for the clients, Blake.
Yeah. I mean, those waterfront properties, it's essential to have those drone shots, those drone videos. It, you know, it showcases the property and the surroundings from a unique perspective. There's a couple ways you can find us: FebreFrameworks.com. There's a book us page. Fill that out. You'll get a call back from one of our ladies in the office, or you can just call 813-906-8300 Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. You know, we have somebody available by phone. So very, very connectable. You know, thank you so much, Brandon, for having us on the show again. You know, just look forward to a continued relationship and bringing value to as many clients as we possibly can.
Hey, my pleasure. We're talking with Blake Knotts here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. Febre Frameworks on the show. Talk about staging, because staging is where traditionally you're going to bring in furniture, you're going to take out the old furniture, bring in new furniture, bring in new artwork, stage the property. That works in some applications, but you also have a more economical version through virtual staging. Talk to us about that, Blake.
Yeah, you know, similar to the Matterport, another newer technology. Again, the MLS has finally adopted this new technology, but virtual staging. Just like you said, instead of having to come in and spend $1,000, $2,000 to stage a property, we can virtually stage a property. And I can tell you what, you put the two photos side by side, you can't tell which is staged or which is virtually staged. So very affordable technology to achieve the exact same results. You know, you can send us pictures and we can virtually stage, or we can go out and take photos and virtually stage. We work with you on what style, you know, modern, rustic, cabin. We have them all. So it's another really cool technology. And again, the MLS has seen the increase in this kind of demand, and there's links on MLS to put the virtual stage photos on there as well.
Yeah, and a lot of properties, if you look at them, they're not ready for photography yet, and that's where Sean has started the priority pressure washing business as well. That's a great idea. He's got a priority pressure washing business now. He's the same owner of Febre Frameworks, but he can go out, clean out the property, or clean the property up in terms of getting some of that, some of the debris, some of the different settlement of the soils that settle kind of in the cracks of the concrete and those types of things. Clean it up, make it look good. That first impression is so important, Blake.
Yeah, you know, it's you're trying to, when you're getting the photos done, you're trying to, shed the best light on your property, and a soil driveway or sidewalks, that's something real silly to detract a buyer. So for $99, a two car driveway, sidewalks, gutters, it's $99 to get that done, and it's going to make the property look 100 times better. So, real simple steps. Just got to make sure we take them to represent the properties as best we can.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks a lot, Blake. We appreciate you joining us on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Keep rocking out there with those beautiful photography packages that you offer: drone shots, Matterport, virtual staging, Febre Frameworks on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I want to thank as well Dr. Jared Roscoe and also Fred Muth, Tampa Screens and Aluminum. Had another great show here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. There's so many ways that you can be a force for good in the community. You can donate some time, donate some blood, volunteer for Habitat for Humanity, get involved with Work Done Charities. Work Done and his charity does a great job as well, Work Done Charities. And follow us online. We would love to connect with you at Brandon Rhymes1 on Instagram and Twitter, and the Consumer Quarterback Show page on Facebook. We'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. ConsumerQB.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at ConsumerQB.com. And join us next time.
All right, this week we're going to talk about something exciting as usual.
We always have something exciting.
Yes, we do.
At least it's exciting to us.
But this is a question that comes up.
TV, hey, it's Friday night. We're not here. Yes, we pre-recorded once again because WeBeam TV is working over in Tampa with Dancing with the Stars.
62 who knew. I almost said Professional Mortgage Alliance, Joe's Bar and Grill. But actually, it's our 39th week. 62 who knew.
We're at the wonderful steampunk event at the Verizon Event Center here in 2019. I think it's still August, right? Yeah. Woo! Can't remember anymore.
Ask Anthony about Florida law.
Yes. To be able to help businesses to do that part of it. But it's just been a couple of years.
Well, and I've taken the business card files from our business cards and made
Entrepreneurs and professionals of Tampa Bay, welcome to your hour for getting the information, the tools, and the connections
Ian
for
Beckles on Radio Influence.
Or you say left-hand white, and then they catch the left-hand white. What it does, it helps you quick with hand-eye coordination. Yeah.
Well, that's kind
as your super connector. We want to introduce you to our 50-plus show partners. We got over 80 categories of expert contributor advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we want to...
That's where we disagree, but that's okay.
I said nonviolent.
That's okay.
Because, you know, we're one of the only states that don't give them back their rights. I've got Jamie Limbaugh. He is from the Next Step Image. I love that name because you were telling me earlier.
For the type of republic we actually are is actually very correct. Yet politicians and regular people use these words interchangeably, even though technically they are very different.
If you're an overdoer, overachiever, people pleaser, we tend to neglect ourselves. And even as sisters connected here, you know, with Women Unscripted, I know